This ultimate content marketing game plan will help you grow your audience and build massive trust with them so they ultimately choose to give their money to you.
I like to think of content marketing as anti-marketing because all it really is sharing what you know and being really helpful to your future customers through the content you create and put out online.
But between you and me, it gets by far the best long-term results of any type of marketing out there just because you're genuinely earning and attracting attention rather than forcing it.
The secret is just getting the right balance between content that builds awareness, earns trust, and directly triggers conversions, bookings, and sales.
So in this video, I'll show you every type of content you need all the way from the top of the funnel all the way down to the bottom where they're pretty much primed to buy. I'm also going to give you my best helpful hints so you'll know what kind of content you should be focusing on right now. Let's start right here at the top of the funnel. So the goal here is simply to be out there and visible to your ideal customers, meeting them where they're at. So to do that, we need to create some really strategic articles, or if you want to be truly competitive and go further, faster, you really want to be creating videos. So in this top funnel section, I'll be talking about articles and videos interchangeably because they're really just two different ways of delivering the exact same kind of information. So what types of articles and videos work best at the top of the funnel to capture that initial attention? First, we have search optimized how-to style content. I'm talking DIY, step-by-step tutorials that are pretty closely related to your niche. You know, if you're a cleaning company, you could create videos about how to wash the outside of your windows properly, or blog posts about how to get your home guest ready fast. And you'd want to make sure that whatever you're creating here is actually optimized for search engines, either Google for written articles that would live on your website, or optimized for YouTube in the case of videos. Or you can use your blog or videos to answer common questions that people ask in your industry. Marcus Sheridan is one of the biggest success stories when it comes to doing this.
Back in the 2008 recession, his pool business was understandably struggling. So he decided to pull back on his usual paid advertising, which he could no longer afford to keep up with, and set his sights instead on simply answering the questions about pools he got all the time.
Except rather than answering each person one-on-one as they asked, he decided to proactively answer these FAQs in dedicated blog posts and videos. In just 1 year, traffic to his website had increased by 200%, and by the end of the second year, it had increased by over 300%. Okay, the next type of content for your top of funnel is social media videos, and these are a bit different than the search-based ones. Think of those as your more standard YouTube videos, but think of your social videos a bit more like TikToks or Instagram Reels. And what makes these different is that they're designed to be seen by your ideal customers without them really needing to search for them. These can also teach a quick tip or answer a common question, but since they aren't depending on searches, they can also be more advice-based or even offer inspiration about what's possible. And we're at a point in time right now where creating those short-form vertical videos can do a lot for you without a crazy amount of effort. So there's a few reasons why. First of all, they're incredibly repurposable. That's a word, right? Basically, you can take the same video and post it to Instagram as a reel, YouTube as a short, TikTok, even Pinterest is getting in on the short video craze with Pinterest Watch. Second, all those platforms give these videos huge viral potential. You know, if you post and it's good enough to keep people engaged, you'll get a lot of eyeballs. And third, these really aren't hard to make. Sure, you do want them to be high energy and engaging, but at the end of the day, they can be standard talking head style, and the optimal length for one of these is right around 30 seconds. So you could 100% script and shoot a month's worth of these in a day. No fancy equipment required, just use your phone, then give it a bit of an edit with some cuts and some text on screen, and you're golden. And here's how to know if this top of funnel content is what you should be focusing on right now. So if at least 2% of the traffic you do get already converts into a customer or sale, you're just not getting enough of them to see great results. The weakness is right up here at the top of your funnel, and this is the type of content that you should be really focused on. And one thing that all this top of funnel content has in common is that none of it is selling anything. Remember, the top of your funnel's only job here is to make people who weren't aware of you and your business before very much aware of you now, but don't worry, we can definitely turn up the heat a bit in our next stage. In the middle funnel. So the goal here is to create content that keeps you top of mind for your prospects over time. It should connect with them on a deeper level, grow your email list, and generate demand for your offers. So this will involve more articles or videos with a slightly different focus this time. Specifically, the content here can be a bit less about how to do it yourself and a bit more how to get this done professionally. And a few content types that would fit really nicely into your mid-funnel would be things like comparisons between you and your competition, comparisons between your various offers, product or service demos, and pricing guides. But be careful that you don't go too far into full-on selling mode here. You still want to set a tone of being mostly helpful. It's more like, here's some facts and research and expert advice to help you decide, but it's completely up to you, no pressure. And the middle funnel is also where you'd want to include one of the most important pieces of content marketing you'll ever create, your lead generator or lead magnet. So this is something so valuable that your prospects will willingly give you their email address to get their hands on it. Lead magnets can come in many varieties, everything from a guide to a checklist to a video series, quiz, or template kit. Just think of what small achievable result or quick win that you can help someone get, then decide what's the best format to help them get there. The secret to a really good lead magnet that converts is that it has to promise transformation, not just information. Take a look at this guide as an example. It's literally promising to transform your small business sales. Pretty compelling stuff, right? But now imagine if this was just titled 5 tips to making more sales. It could be 100 tips and it's still not as good because tips or, things to know is just more knowledge in your brain. It's not a result, right? Once you figure out your topic, format, and title, the content piece itself is pretty straightforward. It doesn't need to be long by any means. I've done single page checklists that get downloaded like crazy because they're so compact and easy to get through and take action on. Then you just put a simple form on your website where people can opt in for it. Then email automation magic takes over and delivers it to them in real time. So they got what they wanted and you've got a new email address on your list. And speaking of which, let's talk about your email nurture sequence now. So remember how I said that your mid-funnel's entire goal is to keep you top of mind with your prospects over time. Well, nothing, and I mean nothing, does that better than good email marketing. When you do it right, they'll be thinking about your business more than they're thinking about the other guys down the street because you're the one who's showing up for them over and over again. And there's no big trick here, right? Just email your list once a week whenever you post a new article or video and tell them why you think it's gonna be helpful for them. This can be a mix of that top of funnel and middle of funnel content, everything from answering FAQs to how-to advice to pricing info and even brand comparisons. As long as you can explain why they can use that information to their advantage, it's all fair game in your email nurture sequences. And if you ever don't have new content to share in any particular week, it's okay. All you need to do is share a quick tip or a piece of advice right in the email itself. No link to content required. Actually, you can even link to someone else's content if you happen to find something that's, super helpful or relevant for them. Just give your own 2 cents on why you think it's valuable and your own takeaways on it in the email, and you will still get the credit for showing up. But it's always best to link to your own content when you can. And there's one more mid-funnel content type worth mentioning here, and that is podcasting. So hosting a podcast is great because it allows you to really connect with your audience in a personal way and establish yourself as a true expert in your field. By sharing what you know, you can keep your listeners engaged, and this is one of the best content formats for getting people to truly feel like they know you. Even better than videos, in my opinion, just because they're a much longer, relaxed format. Plus, podcasts are easily shareable, which means they can help you reach new audiences and boost that brand awareness. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't really count on your podcast to reach too many new people. The podcast platforms just aren't really designed to surface new shows to people, but that's why it's so perfect for the middle of your funnel. You can easily direct your existing audience to it, where you can go much deeper and really start to build that connection over time. So when should you be especially focused on your mid-funnel content? I'd say if you're not building up repeat website traffic. People are finding you okay, but ultimately you're losing them to that sea of competitors out there. If that's what's happening, then this is the stuff that's gonna solve those problems. Okay, so now that you've attracted an audience and have successfully warmed them up a bit, here's where it's about to get really good, right here at the bottom of your funnel. The goal at this stage of your funnel is really to capitalize on all that trust you've been building and start conversations and get your audience to act. This is the stuff that's gonna help skyrocket your conversion rates and turn your audience into paying customers and clients. You just need a few strategic types of content here to bring it all home. Again, we're gonna start with articles and videos, but this time there's one specific type to really focus on: pre-sell content. These articles and videos have one purpose, and that's to help you sell. A pre-sell article is just like one of those old school advertorials that's been around for over 100 years now. It's an ad, but it blends in with the rest of the magazine, so you don't really even know you're being sold to. And this works great in blogs or in YouTube videos as well. Just tee it up as helpful content, then ease into the sale. For instance, an accounting firm might run an article about 10 deductions you didn't know you could take. Then it would segue into why you actually need an experienced CPA on your side, and we'd love to work with you. Why do we do this? Because pre-sale articles are the key to scaling your business. If you're only sending traffic to a sales page, you're gonna miss out on potential customers who just need a bit more information or entertainment to pique their interest. And by using a pre-sale article, you're able to reach a wider audience and give them the education and entertainment they need to get excited about what you offer. Next, you're gonna need to show some proof that what you offer actually works. And when it comes to bottom of funnel content, testimonials and case studies are gonna be your secret weapon. So let's start with testimonials. A really good testimonial can be incredibly persuasive, especially when it comes from someone who shares similar demographics or a similar situation as your target audience. But not every testimonial is compelling. So what makes a compelling testimonial? First and foremost, it needs to be detailed, specific, and it has to speak to the value of your service. For example, instead of a vague statement like, "They were a pleasure to work with," look for something like, "They helped me increase my sales by 50% in just 3 months." It's also important to make your testimonials really easy to read and access. So display them prominently on your website and consider using different formats like text, images, and videos to help keep things interesting. But if you're looking to convert even more, you gotta go beyond just collecting testimonials. It's time to bring in the big guns, case studies. Think of case studies as real-world examples that demonstrate the power of what you do. They're like stories with characters, conflict, and a resolution that show how your service solved a specific problem for a specific customer. The key to creating a great case study is focusing on the customer and telling a relatable story. Sure, it's cool to showcase impressive numbers, but it's even more important to convey the challenges that your customer faced and the outcomes that they deeply desired. To really make your case study shine, you gotta go deeper. So set the stakes by showing just how high those challenges were. Then explain why you chose the approach you did and highlight all the specific features that made all the difference. And when it comes to the results, make sure to showcase the impact that your business made on that customer. Show your audience what became possible as a result of your service and give them a reason to believe. And if you're thinking, "Wes, this sounds like a lot of content," you're right, but luckily there's a free tool out there that can help you create all of it in record time. It's my newest secret weapon, not so secret anymore. It's ChatGPT. So I made this video showing you how I use it for all my marketing. And spoiler alert, it's especially useful for creating content. So click right here and I'll show you all my secret tips to use it the right way to get gold out of it every single time. So I'll see you there.